Em uma noite de 2016, os pais de Disha Gulati foram jantar na casa dos pais do namorado dela, Arun. Era a primeira vez que todos se reuniam.
I met Arun 4 months before that dinner. We actually met on the dating app Tinder. His mum prepared us a delicious Indian meal. As we were eating, Arun's dad asked, "So, where did you two meet?"
Disha e Arun responderam ao mesmo tempo.
Online, I said. Through friends, Arun said. At exactly the same time. Then he looked at me. He seemed upset. Clearly, he didn't want his parents to know that we met online. A lot of people disapprove of dating apps, but I didn't want to accept that stigma.
Welcome! Bem-vindas e bem-vindos ao podcast Histórias em Inglês com Duolingo. Eu sou Helena Fruê. Em cada episódio, você vai poder praticar inglês no seu ritmo, ouvindo histórias reais e emocionantes. Os personagens falam um inglês simples e fácil de entender, perfeito para quem está aprendendo. Eu vou te acompanhar em cada episódio para ter certeza que você está entendendo tudo. Siga nosso podcast no Spotify ou na sua plataforma preferida. Hoje vamos conhecer duas pessoas que encontraram seus companheiros de formas bem diferentes. Algumas vezes o amor surge simplesmente por acaso. Em outras, a gente vai atrás dele nos aplicativos de namoro, ou dating apps, como Tinder ou Bumble. As histórias desse episódio sobre encontros amorosos vêm diretamente do Reino Unido e do Canadá. Na primeira, Disha, nossa narradora, tem sotaque irlandês. Você vai perceber que os T's e os D's dela são mais suaves. Assim, em vez de that, ela fala the, com um leve sopro no final. Desde a adolescência, Disha sentia que seus pais queriam que ela se casasse com alguém que fosse da comunidade indiana na Inglaterra ou Irlanda.
My parents wanted me to marry someone from a similar cultural background. I thought that was funny because I grew up in rural Ireland and there aren't many Indian families there.
1/3 das pessoas que se casam no Reino Unido se conheceram online, depois de criar perfis de namoro, ou dating profiles. Disha sabia que algumas pessoas achavam estranho encontrar um namorado ou namorada na internet, algo que chamamos de online dating, mas para ela era normal.
I was 26 and I was single in London. For years before that, I dated nice guys that I met through friends. But those relationships didn't last very long. So, I decided to try online dating. Some of the dating profiles were really funny. One guy was covered in dollar bills in his picture. Another guy's picture looked like that famous scene from the movie American Beauty. But he had strawberries all over his body instead of rose petals.
Até que, na tela do celular, apareceu Arun.
In comparison, Arun's Tinder profile was pretty normal. He looked cute and his profile said that he had 5 stars on Uber. Who has 5 stars on Uber? Then I noticed that we had a lot in common. We both liked board games and we had mutual friends. He also lived near me. That was Christmas 2016. And we had our first date on New Year's Day at a table tennis bar.
Em Londres, muitas vezes o primeiro encontro acontece num bar de tênis de mesa, ou table tennis. Esses lugares têm ambientes bem informais em que dá para beber e jogar.
At first, Arun was very shy, and I thought about leaving our date early. Then, we played a few games of table tennis, and I won. He became really competitive. After that, we got a drink and played a board game. He was actually really good at board games. I started to realize that he was smart and interesting.
Depois daquele encontro, Disha e Arun continuaram saindo. E logo perceberam que aquele relacionamento era especial. Foi assim que aconteceu o jantar na casa dos pais de Arun.
At dinner that night, I don't know if Arun's parents heard me say that we met online. They didn't say anything about it, and Arun quickly started talking about something else. It was very clear that he didn't want his parents to know how we met.
Depois do jantar, Arun explicou para Disha que não estava pronto para contar como eles tinham se conhecido. Ele tinha medo que seus pais não aprovassem a ideia.
I understood. Arun and I are both from traditional families. It was only when my relationship with Arun became more serious that I told my parents all about online dating.
Disha acha ridículo esse estigma associado a namoros que começaram na internet, já que muitos casais se conhecem assim. Por isso, ela acredita que é importante ser sincera e não esconder esse fato.
Online dating can be really frustrating, especially when you have a lot of bad dates. I wanted to celebrate finding love this way, so I told my parents how I met Arun. At first, my mum was worried, but soon she realised that my relationship with Arun was serious and that we might get married. Then, Tinder seemed more respectable to her.
Embora a família de Disha tenha sido compreensiva, Arun continuava se recusando a abrir o jogo com os pais dele.
So, Arun wasn't sure if they would understand online dating. Arun's parents didn't go on dates before they got married. Their parents arranged their marriage.
Nos casamentos arranjados, ou arranged marriages, os pais encontram um marido ou uma esposa para os filhos, algo comum entre as comunidades indianas do mundo todo. E foi justamente porque seus pais eram mais tradicionais que Arun decidiu manter segredo sobre como tinha conhecido Disha.
9 months after I met Arun on Tinder, I went to live in Singapore and then Australia for 2 years because of a job opportunity. While I was abroad, Arun and I talked to each other on Skype often. I don't think we would still be together if we didn't have technology. And now we're going down a new path together.
Em 2019, Disha e Arun fizeram uma viagem para Berlim.
Arun planned a boat trip on the river. He was wearing a formal shirt. After we got in the little boat, Arun got down on one knee. That made the boat move a lot. I was scared we would tip over. Then he asked me to marry him.
Disha aceitou o pedido e eles marcaram o casamento para 2020, mas tiveram que adiar a cerimônia por causa da pandemia do coronavírus.
Our wedding had to be postponed, but our friends planned a virtual celebration for us. All of our friends joined us on a Zoom video call, and they even had a quiz about our relationship.
Como o casamento foi adiado, Disha tem um plano para a nova data. Ela está preparando um discurso, ou speech, que ainda é segredo, inclusive para o Arun.
During my wedding speech, I'm going to project Arun's Tinder profile on the wall, and I'm going to thank the founders of Tinder. I want to celebrate that we met through the app, and that's how lots of people meet now. People should feel it's okay to use dating apps. I know that our friends and family, including Arun's parents, will be very happy for us.
Arun e Disha se conheceram de um jeito muito comum para os millennials, por meio de um aplicativo. Mas o acaso ainda tem seu papel nos encontros de hoje, que às vezes são bastante inesperados.
Ici, c'est Radio-Canada.
This is a CBC podcast.
Diffuseur public.
Em 2002, Lisa Ayuso trabalhava como produtora num programa de notícias na Rádio Pública do Canadá, na cidade de Toronto. Ela adorava essa função, mas aceitou uma mudança temporária para substituir a apresentadora de outro programa.
A new woman started working at my company. She was doing my old job. I heard a lot of people talking about this person named Victoria Stacy, or Vicky. I asked my friends, "Who's this new girl?"
Lisa estava curiosa para saber quem era sua substituta.
One day, Vicky came to my work area to give me something. We talked a bit, and I noticed that she was funny, and she had a big smile. I wondered if she might be gay, like me.
Fazia alguns anos que Lisa tinha saído do armário, ou come out of the closet, e ela tinha muitos amigos e amigas na comunidade LGBTQ, conhecida como the queer community.
My friends knew I was gay, but I knew a lot of LGBTQ people who were still in the closet. At the time, Vicky had short hair, and she wore button-down shirts. But obviously, you can't know that someone is part of the queer community because of how they look. I just had a feeling that she was gay. When I asked my colleague, Sue, she also thought Vicky was gay, but then said, "Vicky is married to a man."
Lisa achou que talvez sua primeira impressão de Vicky pudesse estar errada. Além disso, ela estava com um pouco de ciúmes, ou jealous.
Everyone at work loved Vicky. She was always baking for the office. She made these incredible cakes and cookies. I got jealous because I thought she was going to steal my work friends. But at that time, I didn't realize that Vicky was really depressed.
Depois de almoçarem juntas várias vezes, Vicky começou a se abrir com Lisa. Ela contou que estava depressiva porque ainda não tinha saído do armário.
So, Vicky knew that she was gay, but she wasn't out of the closet yet. Yes, she was married to a man, but she was unhappy. Vicky and I started talking a lot more. I stopped being jealous, and Vicky started to tell me more about her life.
Vicky cresceu no Quebec, a província do Canadá onde se fala mais francês. Já Lisa cresceu em Toronto, onde se fala inglês.
You know, I was always a city girl. When I was growing up, my mom worked for an airline, so I traveled internationally a lot. But Vicky grew up in a small community in northern Quebec. She didn't know a lot of people in the queer community when she was young.
Dia, durante uma conversa, Vicky fez anúncio importante.
Vicky was very nervous. She told me that she was ready to come out to her husband and her family. She wanted to leave her marriage.
Pouco tempo depois, Vicky se separou do marido e foi morar sozinha num apartamento com sua cachorra Phoebe. Lisa e Vicky continuaram sendo amigas, até que dia aconteceu acidente.
Vicky rode her bike to work that day. She was very close to our office building when a taxi driver opened his door, hit Vicky, and she fell off of her bike. One of our colleagues was outside of the building. He saw everything and brought Vicky upstairs. Vicky was able to walk, but she was really hurt and bleeding. Our boss said, "Oh my God, someone needs to take her to the hospital." She turned to me and said, "Lisa, you take her."
Lisa levou a amiga para o hospital. Lá descobriram que Vicky tinha quebrado o braço e precisaria engessar.
Vicky had an injured arm, so I offered to walk Phoebe, her dog, every day. I loved walking Phoebe. Vicky and I became close friends during that time. She told me about dating people in the LGBTQ community, which was a new experience for her. Her dates sounded intense. There was a lot of drama.
Lisa suspeitava que Vicky ainda não se sentia muito confortável nos seus encontros.
I thought of a date as just a casual conversation during a meal. But Vicky was very nervous about dating. So, one day, without thinking, I said, "Dating isn't scary. Let's go on a date." I didn't realize it then, but I obviously really liked Vicky.
Vicky aceitou a proposta e mais tarde convidou Lisa para jantar na sua casa. Mas no dia do encontro, teve um apagão.
I thought about canceling our date because I knew Vicky couldn't cook without electricity. But in the end, Vicky convinced me to come over.
Vicky teve que trabalhar até tarde na rádio informando os ouvintes sobre o apagão em Toronto. Mas depois convidou Lisa para ir ao seu apartamento.
I walked Vicky's dog for many months, but I never went inside her apartment. I was very curious. I thought Vicky's apartment would show her fun personality. But when I finally entered the apartment, I was surprised by how it was decorated. There were doilies everywhere.
Doilies são toalhas de bandeja, como essas toalhinhas rendadas de crochê. E para Lisa, aquilo parecia uma coisa de outra época.
I thought, what the hell is this? It was like being at my grandmother's house.
Lisa achou a decoração estranha e fofa ao mesmo tempo. Mas ainda mais fofo era o que Vicky tinha preparado para o jantar, já que ela não pôde cozinhar por causa do apagão.
She offered me granola bars and juice boxes. I was happy to be there. We talked all night. When it was time to leave, she walked me home with her dog. She brought a candle on the walk because it was so dark outside. After that, we went on more dates, and we fell in love.
Com o tempo, Vicky começou a falar em casamento. Mas Lisa vinha de uma família de pais separados e achava que casar era coisa para heterossexuais, ou straight.
Vicky wanted a more conventional wedding ceremony. She wanted to get married in a church.
No Canadá, assim como nos Estados Unidos, existem igrejas protestantes que permitem o casamento gay.
Vicky wanted her family to see that our marriage could be legitimate, just like her siblings' marriages. For me, it was hard to accept this idea.
Mas em pouco tempo, Lisa começou a enxergar o casamento de outra forma, como algo especial para ela e Vicky.
I thought, why do we have to get married in an old, traditional way? Why can't we have the kind of wedding that we want and make new traditions? So, that's what we did. We decided to get married in 2005.
Para Lisa e Vicky, foi muito simbólico se casar em 2005, pois foi nesse ano que o Canadá legalizou o casamento homoafetivo em todo o país. Antes só era permitido em algumas províncias.
Our wedding was amazing. We played music by Dolly Parton, our favorite singer. It was just perfect. We've been married for 15 years now. When I think about the first time we met, I shake my head and laugh. I can't believe that a car accident and a blackout brought us together. Now, we have 2 beautiful daughters. And, of course, a house full of doilies.
Lisa Ayuso é jornalista e mora em Toronto. A história dela foi produzida por Caro Rolando. Disha Gulati mora em Londres, no Reino Unido, junto com Arun, e sua história foi produzida por Eloise Stevens. Obrigada por ouvir mais um Histórias em Inglês com Duolingo. Gostou do episódio de hoje? Compartilhe e comente com seus amigos usando a hashtag DuolingoPodcastBR. Se quiser, conta pra gente o que você achou desse episódio. Basta enviar um e-mail para podcast@duolingo.com. Com mais de 500 milhões de alunos no mundo todo e 30 milhões no Brasil, o Duolingo é a plataforma de ensino de idiomas mais popular e o aplicativo de educação mais baixado do planeta. Baixe agora mesmo, é grátis. Para saber mais, acesse pt.duolingo.com. Histórias em Inglês é uma produção de Duolingo e Adon The Media. Assine nosso feed no Spotify ou na sua plataforma preferida. No YouTube você também encontra uma versão em vídeo desse podcast. Eu sou Helena Fruet. Thank you for listening.